Can you speak to that?
Yeah, tax laws are not about not paying taxes. Tax law is incentives. So the government wants you to do certain things. For example, if you donate to a church, they'll give you a tax break. You donate your car to the Kidney Foundation, they'll give you a tax break, right? So if I buy real estate, give me a tax break. Lovely stuff, because I'm providing housing. If I invest in oil wells, I get a tax break because the government wants energy. If I invest in food production, I get a tax break. And when I borrow $5 million to buy a piece of property, I get a tax break because the government needs me to be in debt. You see, if there's no debt, the economy collapses. The reason, when they dropped the interest rates after that whole central bank, the Fed screw up, they had to drop the interest rate so guys like me would borrow. You know, if they didn't want me to borrow, they'd raise interest rates. So they want me to borrow. When I borrow money, I create money. See, money is only created as debt, bonds. As people don't understand, they don't teach this in school. So the more I borrow, the happier the government gets because I'm actually putting money into the economy. So I borrow, let's say, $5 million. I buy a $5 million piece of property. Then the tax law allows me to appreciate it, depreciate it, and amortize it. Zero taxes. I collect all the income from that property tax-free. That's the game.
Is there ever a day like in the future that comes home to roost, or is it something that you can perpetuate year over year over year?
Yeah. But you've got to be smart. They'll never teach you this in school. You know, I don't know her name, Elizabeth Warren and Kamala Harris and AOC, they're all saying, let's tax the rich. So if you're over $10 million income, they're going to tax you 70%. Let me wake people up here. You're making $10 million a year. You're not paying any taxes because you can hire the best tax accountants and tax attorneys that the money can buy. So they never tax the rich. They tax the stupid, the uneducated, the misinformed. And it's tragic, and that's why I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You know, the rich don't pay taxes legally because the government wants us to do certain things. They're incentives. So when I buy an apartment house, I'm providing housing. I get full tax breaks. When I drill for oil, I don't buy Standard Oil or Chevron or Exxon. If I drill for oil, the day I drill for oil, I get a 70% tax break. The day I drill, day one. Now, does Exxon tell you that? No.
Well, so yeah. and it shows that these so-called political leaders don't understand the tax system themselves.
No.
They just think
Trump does.
Well, and I was wondering about this with Trump because obviously, you know, he didn't want to release his tax returns.
Why should he?
I agree, but they would probably show